Thank you for tuning in to AM Radio. These stories are something that I have gone through in my life, experiences that I've had, stories that I could actually say happened to me. And I'll try to go ahead and explain them the best way I can. They will be fairly short, some of them a little bit longer than others, but overall, something that you can go ahead and just say that you heard. Now, I lived in my parents' house for a long period of time, and that house has always kind of given me a weird feeling. I can say that there's always been like a sense of uncertainty of just not being alone. Definitely a sense of something that is like there, but it was always in like the back of the house. I know, how stereotypical is that, right? Now, there were times that I had always felt safe in my room, which was in the middle of the house. And I could say that there was one time that I wasn't. At least I felt that I wasn't. I remember I was feeling scared, paranoid, and just didn't know what was going on. And I had a glass that I would always drink out of, and it was always in my room. It was like my lucky glass. And I remember one. Well, I would always wake up early in the morning to go ahead and shower before work, get my coffee ready, and just go on about my day. Well, one day I remember waking up. I think it was around maybe 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, one of those times. Hopped in the shower and came out and noticed that this glass that I had drank out of many times, that would always be on my dresser, was shattered on my floor. My floor was a carpet floor. So I didn't understand how this thing just shattered everywhere. Don't know. I proceeded to just go ahead and be like, maybe it hit the end of my bed. Maybe that's what caused it to go ahead and break, and just proceeded to go along my day. But then went to work, came home, felt uneasy, felt a little bit uncertain. And the weird thing about the thing at my parents' house is that if you talked about it, if you mentioned it, it would go ahead and make its presence known. So I went ahead and I had already had numerous experiences, which I'm sure I'll share with everybody on AM radio. But I went ahead and I went on like I believe it was like a Facebook forum for paranormal assistance, and was explaining like, that I needed help. They ignored me. But I explained that because I'm talking about it, that it's gonna come again. They pushed me to the side. Didn't think anything of it. Went asleep. Went ahead, woke up the next day to get ready for work. Hopped in the shower. Then I noticed that when I was getting hit by the water, that my arm was burning. And I look at my arm and there's 3 scratches. And I was just trying to put it off. I mean, like, maybe I scratched myself. Maybe I scratched myself. I don't know. I get so, overwhelmed with the idea of the paranormal shows and stuff and things that I watch, but it was 3 scratches on my arm. They were welted up, and I only felt them because the water that was hitting it was irritating it. So the next night, go ahead, take a picture of it, and I start posting it on these Facebook forums, asking for help once again. these people had the nerve, and I say the nerve, to go ahead and say, I'm a psychic and I'm linking to your picture and I could see that this is self harm. You need to seek professional help. Everyone immediately was saying that I was doing this to myself, which then I proceeded to go ahead and, post as well, being like, I'm a strong advocate against self harm. I did not do it to myself, and that I need their help because they say that they're these people that go ahead and help people, and I know it's coming again because I'm talking about it and I'm bringing it to their attention, and they blocked me. They straight up like put me to the wind. Last word saying you need to seek professional help, and boom, blocked me. Showed pictures, showed everything, and still no help from them. I knew that something was going to happen that night. And I remember being in my room, and to the right of my bed, there was a shelf that I would have all my movies on. That shelf would not drop anything on it. I had numerous little knickknacks on it that never in years have ever fallen off that shelf. But I remember it during that night, I was facing away from it, and a little bottle of vodka that I had gotten from Vegas. I remember hearing something fall from the shelf, hit the floor, and I did not want to turn around. I was scared to turn around. I just didn't want to acknowledge it. When I woke up, and like I said, like a little bottle of vodka, that's what had fallen off of it. There's no way that had fallen off my shelf due to an earthquake, because there was other things that were not structurally sound that could have fallen. That was the only thing that could have fallen. And no, I'm sorry, it was not gonna be able to fall. I don't know how to explain how it fell. All I know is that just felt like something was gonna happen, and something did happen. Years later, after I had moved out of my parents' house, I was told that my parents, they don't want to acknowledge. Well, my mother does not want to acknowledge that something is in the house. My father, he makes fun of it. He calls it the entity. Um, my mother will have scratches on her, random scratches, and it's weird because it's also in threes, three markings. And they have a cat, but there's no way that it could do that to my mom. There's times when the cat was nowhere to be seen and she would have markings on her. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to go ahead and do it, but they're in my old room. That house is weird because I used to think growing up I'd never wanted to be past the kitchen at all. And it seems like as I got older, it didn't matter. You could be in any room in the house and something happens. I've been in the living room of my parents' house and just felt scared, nervous, like something was in there with me. It's it's a weird feeling. If you've ever been to my parents' house, or any of my friends or other family members that hear this, and you have had any kind of experience, please let me know, because I honestly it's weird. I've had experiences when I remember growing up, um, the front door would just open by itself. And it only happened once, but I still remember that. Didn't know what to expect. I it's scary, and I have plenty other stories, but I just that my parents' house is definitely one of those things that I just can't explain why I feel the way I do, and the things that I've seen and the things that I've felt. I don't understand how it's happened. But if you have any questions, go ahead, leave a comment. Please leave a like, and just take care of yourself overall. Take it easy, and good night.